What's up, good people? Welcome to this Friday live from By the Hood. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy. I got my partner in crime, Corey, with me. Corey, what's up, good brother?
I'm chilling, man. Every day above ground is a good day, man. So I ain't gonna complain about nothing.
Listen, man, I see folks is coming in here from both YouTube and Facebook. This is our Friday live show. If you're tuning in for the first time, first off, I have no idea why you'll be tuning in for the first time. You should be like staying in tune with everything we got going on. But with that being said, man, welcome anyway, man. We come every Friday to have a conversation with the community, talk about what's going on in the world of investing, business, finance, real estate, precious metals, cryptocurrency, whatever it is. We're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so how was your week, good brother?
Um, it was a good week. That should have been a great week, and I flinched, and then I got punched in the eye. So I had plug, and I forgot about the tropical storms. And then plug is the largest supplier of hydrogen cells in the world, and they supplied all of the energy and hydrogen cells to the John. And that good news made it run from like $25 all the way out to $32. And I only caught part of it. I ain't catch all of it. So I'm disgusted with myself at this point.
It's all good. Or were you running like a cover call, or what kind of strategy were you
So
employing?
I had a cover call and I had a year long call. So I had the year long call at 30 and I had the cover call at uh 27. And so I made a bag this week and I had multiple leaps on it. So
Okay.
I had two leaps on it. I had one at 27 and one at 30.
Okay.
Um So I'm, you know, I, soon as so my philosophy is once it hits the strike price, I pull it down,
Got you.
and it hit the 27 strike price, pulled that one down. Then it hit the 30 strike price, I pulled that one down, and then that hoe ran again, and it ran all the way out to 32. I was like, dang, like could you pull back a little bit so I
So
can
you
get
could
all that money?
reposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for anybody who's been watching us for the last several weeks, you know that I had two long positions. I had two leaps in SLV. I cashed in on one of them this week. So it was the same day that Bitcoin finally cracked 20, which was a couple days ago at this point. Um, gold and silver were also running. So SLV went up. I was sitting on two leaps. I got rid of one of them, cashed out on that one. Because I'm taking a whole different strategy. Because what I'm doing is I'm going back to what I've been doing, but I'm trying to employ something that actually I just learned from Corey, right? So again, one of the advantages of us like being in a group and kicking it with other investors, other traders, is we throw ideas off of each other. And Corey put me down with something. He actually talked about it last show. If you were here last Friday, the strategy of buying what's known as a cover call, but then getting a little bit of insurance by buying a leap against that same asset. And I went back and did the math, and I'm like, yo, why you ain't telling me this 8 months ago, Corey? But anyway, that's either here nor there. Um, Fact of the matter is that is a very, very powerful strategy because it kind of minimizes your risk. And I'm more big into investing as opposed to trading because those are not the same thing. But if I could find a way to trade and minimize my risk, I'm all with that. For the folks that's coming in, I see people coming in from YouTube as well as Facebook, man. We appreciate you. Make sure that you share this. Do me a favor, hit the like button, help us fight these algos because you know what I mean. These algos be trying to rumble with us, but we got some folks already checking in with us, man. We got our good brother Don, man. Don, what's up, good brother? And Don, you are correct. You know
Don
what
is
I'm saying?
100%
Like
correct.
and share, Shonda, what's going on? How you? Blessings,
Hey,
blessings, blessings,
what's going
blessings.
on?
Yeah. not every not everyone understands the term joint. Gotta break that down for the people.
John is a
Person, place,
universal,
a thing, man.
yeah, universal noun or pronoun. It literally can mean anything.
Yo, it's funny because at times I forget that like how our audience has grown over the years. Not just in terms of our language, but like just the other day we were talking and someone gave me a time and I'm like, okay, cool. And I realized like, yo, they on Central Time. I'm sitting there waiting for them for an hour, man. Listen, everything's been amazing in terms of By the Hood this week too. For those who haven't checked out the latest episode, please make sure you check out our latest episode with Sandy and Packy of Hood Estates. That was like one of our best episodes. It's just amazing. And this one we got coming up next week is also going to be phenomenal. So we shared a post of a sister who's out of St. Louis, who's Gabs, real estate bay, also known as Gabby. And that post went crazy. Like it went crazy to the point where I was looking today. It's like it's over 300 some odd thousand views. But the thing is, she came on with us to do a interview to talk about what got going on out there in St. Louis because The story she shared that was on our page was about her great grandfather having $500,000 he left to the family, and how the family didn't have it because it was just money, but it wasn't the lessons that should come with it. So it's a powerful story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, real quick though, I'll answer this for a little bit and let Corey go in depth. But when a covered call is a strategy when trading options, when you actually own the asset, so you own the company, right? You have to own it a minimum of 100 shares of the company, and basically you're on the other side of that option. So instead of you buying a call, you're selling a call to someone, and it's covered by your shares. I'll let you go further in depth if you want to, Corey, but it's a more advanced strategy. But it's a way to kind of like, in my opinion, minimize your risk.
Yeah. So what covered calls do is they actually protect against your stock rolling back. So if you what cover calls do is say you pick a price point ahead of where the stock is, and people will pay you to buy your stock at that price. And so when you run the cover call, what you're doing is protecting. Like, let's say if you running a cover call for a stock that costs $100, and you run the cover call out to $105, what it says is that if the stock goes from 100 and it goes past $105, you will sell it to the person who will buy it from you at $105. Let's say they bought it for $200. That person would have paid you $200 to take control of your shares, and if the shares go past $105, they would own those shares, and they would have made a $300 profit.
Yeah, so to try to like simplify it, and again, this is a more advanced strategy. Like, hit us up if you're interested in like learning about these kind of concepts. But you're giving someone the right to buy your shares at a certain price, and you have to have 100 shares to do this. And what they're doing is they're paying you a premium for that right. So you get to keep the premium whether they take over your shares or not. So that's why it's a strategy more so to minimize risk, because even if they take your shares, you're going to get the money from those shares as well as that premium. And if you understand how to do this the correct way, you can literally use this strategy to make money on a weekly basis if you know how to set it up correctly. But that's kind of what covered calls are. Shout out to Latoya. What's up, sis? How you? She says she saw that post and made a lot of sense. Said it was sad and made a lot of sense. Got to do more than just leave money behind. Got to teach them how to grow that money as well. Yeah, it was a powerful video, which is why it went the way it went. And she told her story on this upcoming episode that's coming up this Wednesday, so that should be powerful, man. But listen, we're not gonna be here too long this evening, but we got to talk about a couple stories that as we come every Friday to have these conversations. One of the biggest stories in the news this week, and there's been a lot of big stories going on in terms of what's going on with Congress trying to get these stimulus checks out here. We got Bitcoin cracking 20K and hitting an all-time high. But the story that everybody's talking about today is Tesla, right? Tesla was going a little crazy, very volatile right now because it's getting ready to be included in the S&P 500, the Standard & Poor's 500, that index, which is an amazing accomplishment for a company. Let's say that first and foremost, regardless of how you feel about their valuation, that's a major accomplishment to be included in the S&P 500. So salute to them for doing that. But with that being said, what are your thoughts and analysis on Tesla as it joins the S&P 500 core?
Well, my thoughts on Tesla, the company, it's trash, but whatever.
Oh, trash?
Yeah, it's a trash company. Its valuation is too high. So let's start with the valuation. Tesla started this year at like $500 a share, right? Then the price runs up from $500 a share all the way up to $2,500 a share. They did a split, a 5-to-1 split, and that went from $500 basically where it split at to now it's $700. It's like $695 today. So basically, in the span of a year, Tesla then went up like 1,050%.
Mm-hmm.
But its actual valuation for how much money it make, a PE ratio like 300. So it's like the price to man. Here's
the thing.
PE ratios are supposed to be closer to 1. Their PE ratio is like something dumb like 1,600. So the actual valuation for how much money they make compared to what their price is in the market is just stupid. So that's what, when I say Tesla is trash, it's not that they don't have a product, and it's not that they forward thinking people. shouldn't buy Tesla is that by the numbers, I wouldn't touch Tesla with Tesla's like an electrified fence by the numbers.
Okay, I got you. So what I was gonna say is, here I'm about to sound like an old man. Say back in my day, right? So when I first started investing, I used to try to find companies with a PE ratio close to 10. That's damn near impossible these days. The market is insane. There's so much new money in the market, and the quote unquote Robin Hood investors, as the media calls them, have kind of changed the entire stock market. So it makes me look at things different, because one of the things I know about Tesla, right, is that Tesla is a cult company.
It is.
It's hard to pin something on a cult company, right? Because when you talk about a cult company, there's other factors outside of what they're doing in business and the money that they're generating. Because if you're looking at just the money they're generating and you're trying to value the company just based on their income, you can't do that. You can't do that, right?
Yeah, not with them. They got a brand name. Their brand name. It's like somebody wearing Bobos and then somebody wearing Nikes. Like they the brand name.
Right. And then there's certain rules when it comes to investing, which are interesting in terms of like looking at cash flow, looking at debt, looking at PE ratios, looking at equity, looking at return on equity, a lot of these things. And a lot of these things are being thrown just to the side when it comes to a lot of new investors. And, you know, it's just interesting to watch this play, because I want to see how it plays out long term. But it's very interesting to watch how this plays out, because, again, some folks are making a boatload of money. And I know a lot of traders.
Millionaires, actual millionaires this year. So I'm not pooping on Tesla as far. Yo, man, listen, I want to see everybody get to a bag.
Listen, I got friends that I've seen receipts. I've seen $500,000, $1 million, like people that I personally can call right now. Like, yeah. So I know that the bag is being made. I made a bag off Tesla. I don't give out numbers, but what I will say is I made a bag before the split, because I sold a long time ago. If I would have held on, I probably wouldn't be doing this actual show right now, because I'd be at Rick's Cafe right now. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, so there's real money being made, but long term, if you're talking about someone who's just looking to buy and park their money and never go again, I want to see how this plays out, because, I mean, sometimes you see a company go through hyper growth like this, and they'll figure it out and turn on the faucet. Amazon being a great example of that. With Amazon Web Services, right? I remember for years people would complain about Amazon not being profitable, and Amazon was like, watch this. I've seen it play out that way, right? It doesn't happen that way with other companies. I saw Yahoo try to do the same thing, because, again, aging myself, I remember Yahoo was the big shot company. Yahoo was going to be the biggest company in the world, and everybody was investing in Yahoo. And now half of y'all got nothing but spam coming from your Yahoo. Y'all don't use Yahoo at all. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is, man. Let's get to some of these comments in here, man. A lot of folks chiming in with us, man, and we appreciate all this. Shout out to everybody, man. Tesla definitely went crazy today. Shout out to the legends in the chat. Lance, what's up, Lance? How are you?
Yeah, she said it went up $30 in seconds today. Yeah, that was the end of the day. It shot up because it's going into the S&P over the weekend, and so everybody was trying to get their money in to see if they can catch a bag on Monday. Yeah, so that's what that was about. That was definitely about that.
So Wall Street Journal had a good article on it today. We gotta check that out. Shout out to Shelly. Tesla making dough. They making everybody else dough. I guess they're making dough themselves too. Some of their shareholders, insiders coming up. Yeah. Oh, what's good, family? How you? People believe in Elon like hell. Yo, I shared something on my timeline this week that I found funny, right? So there was a non-fungible token on a piece of art. And there was an art of someone who like made it. Listen, they literally had a painting of Elon Musk on a cross on Mars with like monkeys looking up at him. And they put it up for auction.
$700,000.
Yo, the price was something ridiculous. It was like I think it was 70 grand. It was something like 70 grand for a picture of Elon Musk on a cross.
No, I think it was 700. I thought it was 695 or something.
Whatever it was ridiculous. It was 69.90. I think it was 69,995. So it was like 70 grand.
It was 70 grand.
Again, it wasn't even done at that point. So I don't know what it closed at. That's what it was at the time on the bid. But and like she just said right here, it's definitely a cult company, man. They're connected to Elon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you jump shit for bags twice this week. Get it together. Yeah, listen, man. But the thing is, I lock in them games, though. I always doing the stuff that I lock in the games. Dr. Strange. No, I'm not a stockbroker. I did have a securities license in the past. Let my securities license go. Not a stockbroker. He said not hating. It's fine. This is not investment advice. This is just for
Yeah,
entertainment and
yeah.
education purposes only. We talk about our personal experience and things that we do. But yes, I did have a securities license. I let it go for probably the reason that you're asking, because it prohibited me from doing certain things, and specifically as a real estate developer, having that securities license was problematic for me. But I did have a securities license. I had multiple securities licenses as well as insurance. To answer your question, Dr. Strange, shout out to you. Um, Lance, what's going on? She said it was
50
man,
dang, at the end of the 54 million, right at the end, yo, I knew it was crazy, but I didn't know it was that crazy.
yeah.
54 million shares traded hands in the last like 10 minutes of the day. That's madness.
Yeah, Yahoo and Ask.com. Yo, the .com bubble was absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I was around for the .com bubble, and if you had .com, it's kind of what it's like with blockchain now. Like, yo, you say I'm in blockchain, people throw money your way.
yeah,
People
man.
bet on Elon Musk versus the fundamentals.
Yes.
Great question, Wayne. Some will say yeah. Now, but the thing is, though, here's the one thing I will say about Tesla, as opposed to other companies, right? They have an actual product that people love. People love the product too. There are companies out there, I ain't gonna name no names, who just straight ass bet with nothing but paperwork. They don't even have a product. And some are even in the same space. So
Tesla first name.
Mike, what's up, family? Yeah, so but you guys are the real Trading Places. Yo, Trading Places, by the way, is the greatest Eddie Murphy movie ever made. And the Trading Places is also listen, it's number one, dog. Listen, Trading Places is also one of the best Christmas movies ever made, because I consider it a Christmas movie. Hold on. If you got Trading Places at 3, what you got at 1 and 2?
Coming to America and Harlem Nights.
I don't even got Harlem Nights in my top 5, dog. Coming to America is probably my number 2. I would, and listen, you can make the argument it's number 1, but I still like Trading Places better. But come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I think Beverly Hills Cop is better than Harlem Nights. Like, that's just me,
I think
honestly.
that's the funniest movie, because like I like all the comedians. I like the synergy. So I just got it at number 2 because of the synergy. But
Yo, for those out there watching, man, give us your top 3 Eddie Murphy movies, man. Like, you got Harlem Nights up there. I want to know how y'all feel about that. I know we talking about business and investing, but I want to know how y'all feel about the Eddie Murphy movie, man, because Corey is bugging right now, and I want y'all to tell him that he's bugging. My team wanted to get a Tesla contract, and I said no. I will eat off Tesla all week, but the last 2 weeks, no, it's too risky, and I'm waiting to see what it's finna do. Listen, I understand that completely. I completely get that. We actually had a powwow in here a little while ago. We actually thought about putting up like 50 grand to buy this call, and we instead decided not to, and we played ourselves. But that's either here nor there. Shout out to Malik. If you watching, man, I know you still tracking how much money we blew. You know. All right, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is why we bring these things up, right? I still don't understand the orange juice scene. Are they shorting something, right? So they were commodities brokers, and which is a derivative of something on the market. So what they were doing is they were getting the orange juice prices beforehand. They was kind of like insider trading, and they were trying to figure out which way the price action was going to go, so they can kind of corner the market. So but we can dig into that deeper. In fact, we actually have a video where we broke down Trading Places on our channel, by the way. Like,
yeah, we did.
So but Dr. Strange, that's a good question though. Tesla killing the game. See, and Doctor Strange is also Beverly Hills Cop too.
Listen, the game with zero marketing. Their marketing is Elon Musk.
Their marketing is everybody, including us, because we talking about him now. But hold on though, Beverly Hills Cop 2 is fire. I might have Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 ahead of Harlem. Yo, Doctor Strange, whatever you doing, man. When you finish kicking it with us this evening, please go watch Harlem Nights. It's definitely a classic. But I don't know about that. It said David Ruffin's in the building.
David Ruffin.
Beverly Hills Cop 2, Beverly Hills Cop 1, and Trading Places. Doctor Strange, that's my 3. That's exactly my 3. Because listen, man, Axel Foley, and Billy Ray Valentine are the 2 greatest characters ever, man. And you gonna bring up Harlem Nights, man? Come on, man. Listen, this is the one. This right here is the one I'm not really gonna argue against though, because I understand why you would say that. Coming to America 1, I get that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I put some trash movie. I didn't put Shrek #1. I put Coming to America #1. That's Coming to America is might be a top 10 movie of all time.
And yeah, we definitely played ourselves, Lance. We really did.
Yeah, we did.
Golden Child, that is fire too. Yo, Eddie Murphy had his
Yeah,
run was
yeah, his
crazy.
run, yeah, his run might be his 10-year run might be better than any 10-year run ever. Like he was everywhere between the Raw, the movies, like, but like the comedy specials in the movies. I don't know, man. That 10-year run, I don't know if nobody could touch that. It was more like a 20-year run because he started like mid 80s and he dropped off like like early 2000s. He had like a 20-year run.
Malik, you a fool, yo. I'm going through these comments. Trading places in Beverly Hills Cop. Coming to America, trading places Beverly Hills Cop. Listen, I can't argue your list. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got it. Trading places 1. And I'm gonna take back part 2. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is funny. It's probably number 4, but I probably got Trading Places, Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop. So I'm not gonna argue you can because we got the same list, just in a different order. Yeah. So I'm glad to see what y'all picked though, man. But yeah, so further give us your thoughts though, Corey. So what are you going to trade it? Are you going to leave it alone? What are your thoughts about it in terms of
long term? I'm not touching it. I just think they got too much competition, and he's innovative, but he's not innovative to the point where he can outrun competition. I don't think Tesla's just going to outrun the competition. I think everybody going to catch him. He out in front of him.
All right, so when you say that, right? Because I saw the CEO of Toyota come out and he was like subtly throwing shade when he was talking about how much money they make versus Tesla. Some will say it's hating, some will say it's throwing shade, right? So when you say catch him, are you talking about the cars that are already currently like dominating the market in terms of sales? Are you talking about some of the upstarts that are trying to beat Tesla? Because you have a lot of Tesla clones.
I think both, because the big automakers is already on their heels, and you got the smaller automakers that my thing is Tesla is not really a car company, and that's where everybody keeps going wrong. They sell cars, but they're not a car company. Where they're betting on is they're an energy company. They're betting on that 1,000-mile battery or that 1,000,000-mile battery, and if they perfect the million, what'll happen is if they get the 1,000,000-mile battery, their stock price will shoot up to like $4,000. Like they're going to be Amazon part 2, because that's what they're betting on. If they can get that 1,000,000-mile battery, they're going to crush the market.
Interesting you said that. Jose, what's up, Jose? How you? Dr. Strange, where you checking in from? Because you said in America, which means you're not here. So let us know where you're checking in from. But I think it was Malik. Malik, let me know if I'm wrong. I think it was you or someone else in our group said that they're not a car company. Is actually and they didn't say battery. It was something else, like
energy company. Because
depending upon who you talk to, people always tell you that Tesla's not in this business. They're in this business. I think they're in the church business. Personally, they're a publicly traded church, but that's my personal opinion. That's a good point though, Core. If they can get that, they definitely will. They definitely will shoot.
They stomp the market. If they make that 1,000,000-mile battery, they've been talking about making. If they actually perfect that, they're going to stomp the competition. They're going to stomp the competition. But that's if it was a spliff, we all be rich.
Yeah, shout to everybody in Canada, yo. I love Canada, Toronto specifically. Toronto's a beautiful city.
It is.
Amazing ladies and amazing poutine. But hold up though.
There's subscription business.
That's what he said. He said that Tesla is a subscription business. And I don't want to ask you to like have to write out a whole paragraph, Malik, but like give me your reason for saying that, because I want to know why you say that they're a subscription business. Because I've heard a lot of things like about it being an energy company, about it being a battery company, about being a car company. I say church, you say subscription. What kind of subscription is it that they're going for? That makes you have that assessment of Tesla. We should have just had Malik on, but since you're not on with us, Malik, just let us know in the comments, why do you say that it's a subscription company? But again, long term, what I was saying is I'm not touching it one way or the other. I got my bag out of it and I'm cool, and I'm just going to stay to the side because I know that when you're dealing with a cult-like company, right? So I remember when Steve Jobs was alive and I would look at Apple's stock price and like he had this effect. He would come out and talk and the price would shoot up. It was almost along the same lines. It was a cult company. And that's why when you talk about the competitors catching up to them, the one thing I think about is their branding. Their brand is strong at this point. Like,
Yeah.
again, they don't pay for marketing. Imagine when they start marketing, because they don't even pay. A lot of times you see companies that are dominant that don't even market. So imagine when they start to market, because again, we know the power of marketing. We talk about this daily, the power of marketing. So, you know, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Strange, we appreciate the love from Canada, man. Subscribe. You about to go said you about to go check out Harlem Nights, man. Enjoy, man. Enjoy Harlem Nights, man. It's a classic. But yeah, so in the question, here's a good question from Shelly, right? Would it be affordable though? She's talking about that million mile battery. What kind of price point would they put on it?
So the million mile battery is basically like, so what happens with these batteries is they lose charge over time, and that's why the charging stations are going crazy. All of the
Mhm.
companies that make the charging stations. What Tesla is purporting to do is to make it so that people could go longer on a charge on the batteries, and that the batteries will last a million miles like a Toyota. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So that's what he's trying to get done with the million mile battery.
All right. So here's Jose's assessment. Tesla is an energy company with a secular foundation led by the Pope Elon. Okay. He's got an energy company. Here's Malik's assessment here, right? And I think this is interesting as well. It said, subscribe to autonomous driving and pay for updates. Also, they make money from the electric grid. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, that's why I said they're
That's
an energy.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, I mean, we'll see how it plays out long term. Like, you know, I think that and you brought up a point we were talking right before we came on, and you were talking about like all of the other indexes that they get added to just based upon this inclusion into the S&P, which is pretty dope too. And
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, so I will say I get Tesla exposure because of MGK, you know, which is the index fund that's probably my third biggest holding, and this is not investment advice. This is my personal thing. It's my
so
third biggest holding behind Coke and J&J is MGK, but then they own Tesla. But
yeah,
I want to see whether that increases or not, based upon this
so
this.
yeah, so there are funds that are Tesla heavy, like the ARC funds. You can get a bag off of those. The if you're into that, and you want exposure without having to be just exposed to Tesla. So
Mhm.
there's some ETFs, with big exposure like the ARC funds. Then you also have QQQ, which is going to include Tesla. Then it's going to be included in the consumer discretionary. So, and then with the incoming president and his views on energy companies, I think they're going to get a boost from that too. So it's not that they're a bad company. I just think that they're not like,
You just don't want them at this price. But I
yeah,
think that a lot of people are thinking that too. But what they're thinking is, I won't be able to get them cheaper. That's what a lot of people are thinking, right? So Cadillac debuted at the 2009 Chicago Auto Show. It's world thorium fuel concept car powered by nuclear energy. This was determined to last 100 years. Sheesh. I got to
yeah.
look that up. I wasn't familiar with that.
I don't know if I'm going to drive in a nuclear powered car though, because if I'm going out,
not the way you drive. But hold on though. Let's get Wayne, because Wayne said something that you said too, right? And Wayne, thank you for this point. And the reason I want to pause on this point for a second, pause, because it says the incoming presidential administration will be good for Tesla. Biden is going to push alternative energy. One of the things I tell people about investing is how when you start to invest and you start to look at companies, start to read these stories, you see how everything is connected. You start to see how politics, education, criminal justice, business, all of these things are connected, and you start to like really are able to see that as you start to study the market, right? A lot of times if you're in real estate, right? And I'm a real estate guy at heart, but if you're in real estate, you learn a lot about local politics and how local things affect you. But when you start to get into the stock market, you get a more of a global perspective when you see how things are connected. So that's a good point, right? We have a changing of administration. How does the previous administration fare when it comes to a company versus the next administration? And that's not just Tesla. Think about that, and with all your investments, with all everything that you're thinking about investing in, how does this change in presidential administration affect that at all? I think that's a great point, Wayne, about Biden and his look on alternative energy. So great point.
Malik says they're also an insurance company, which they are. They getting money. They getting money from a multitude of different ways, but it's just so many other companies that make so much more money than them that's not valued nowhere near where they at.
Yeah,
Like,
that's one of the things I always take, like when I read Berkshire's annual letter. So for those who are invested in BRK, whether it's A or B, and if you got any BRKA investors in here, man, shout out to y'all, man.
Y'all got a Bitcoin.
But
that's basically what it is. It's big ass Bitcoin.
I mean, if you say right, hopefully Bitcoin to get to there sooner rather than later, because what they are like 390, right? What is there? Somebody let me know. Look up right this second. I didn't see what they closed at. What did BRK .A close at this evening? I wonder what they closed at. Somebody watching, let us know what BRK .A closed at. But here's my point. My point is, if you ever take a chance and read his letter to his shareholders, one of the things he often talks about is opportunity cost as it comes to investments. So in a situation like this where you don't know how this will play out, those same monies that you allocate there, could you have allocated it somewhere else that fits your criteria in terms of your analysis that would have worked out for you? So it's not just about, man, I missed this, but what did you do with that capital, right? I'll give you a great example, right? Even you just bought up Bitcoin, and we got to talk about Bitcoin cracking 20K. What is that? 337,699. Is that what it says?
899.
899. So we talking about 338K. All right, yeah. So shout out to y'all for any of y'all with BRKA share. That means one share is about three. Yo, anyway, that's insane. Shout out to y'all. Put it in the chat. I see Don and Jose gave us those numbers. Yeah, that's insane, yo. 338K for one share. But yeah, you brought up Bitcoin, right? And we're going to talk about Bitcoin cracking the 20K mark. But someone had brought up a point to me earlier. They were talking about Litecoin and how Litecoin has been going crazy over the last couple of days. And I asked him, I said, what's the long-term use case for Litecoin? That's what I don't see. And this is coming from someone who's still holding some, just because, I mean, I don't want to sell it, but I don't know what the long-term use case. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, that could be opportunity cost too.
Got one Litecoin just because it's like a keepsake. You know, I had a gang of Litecoin. It went crazy. I sold it, and then I just kept one because I'm a weirdo like that. I just like, it's like a keepsake. Like, I don't even count it as part of my portfolio. It's a singular, and it's never.
I got a bunch of it, but at this point, I'm cool with having a bunch of it because shout out to Rich. I don't know who's in the watching, but Rich, and also the Sean, and also Russell, because they got me to stake it. So once I realized I could stake it and make 6% of it, I don't care that I'm sitting there because I'm making 6% and I'm paid weekly. But my point in saying that is that what they pointed out to me, and this is coming from someone who calls himself Eve Sweat, because I'm Ethereum dude day in and day out. When you look at the return over the last year, everyone's talking about Bitcoin, but Ethereum has a higher return, right? Although Bitcoin is the one in the news, Bitcoin cracking 20K, but from a pure percentage standpoint, you would have made more money putting it in Ethereum this year than you would have in Bitcoin.
All facts.
Right. So that same kind of concept goes into when you talk about these companies that are listed on the market. You know, it's like there's so many companies that are running that the average person doesn't know. A lot of times we pay attention to the hype, what's in the news and all that. But when you really pay attention to the market, there's some companies out there you can get an amazing return. I saw a company this week.
The company that I have in my name right here, I bought it at $3. It's at 32. I done made it.
Yeah,
it's 10 times what it was when I bought it.
But a lot of folks aren't even talking about that, and we talked about it in our group. And I know a lot of people in our group ate off that company.
I definitely put everybody on. As soon as I found that, I put everybody on. I said, "Oh, they about to snap."
Jabbar, what's up, homie? Like, listen, man. Shout to Jabbar, man. Jabbar, the Clubhouse King. He be in Clubhouse like holding court, giving out all the game, man. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about in terms of like the market. But when you take that over to the crypto space, it's the same way. Like, there's a lot of like shit coins that have done the same as well, for lack of a better term. But I'm talking about specifically with the big boys. If you look at Ethereum, it actually has a higher return this past year.
All the use cases. Ethereum got all the use cases. Every single one. Bitcoin is getting the market penetration and is making it so that all the other coins are viable. But with all of the use cases, all of the good stuff is on the Ethereum network. There's new projects that's not on the Ethereum network that are, some are pretty good, but the vast majority of the good projects are on the Ethereum, on the Ethereum network.
Yeah, so, ERC20 is going crazy. Yeah, you're right. You know, you're absolutely right. Which is why I'm bigger into Ether than anything else, man. You know, but anyway, a couple things we want to talk about.
The Coinbase IPO. I forgot all about that.
Coinbase IPO, right? So Coinbase says that they're going to go IPO, right? We want to talk about that. So before we get out of here, there's a couple more things we want to touch on. We talk about the Coinbase IPO, something in terms of real estate, right? One thing I want to bring up with real estate, and it came up from our webinar that we'd had with Malik and Camille. Malik did an amazing job of talking about real estate and showing the Philadelphia 2035 plan within that webinar. And I got a lot of questions after the webinar talking about opportunities in real estate, specifically within Philadelphia. So I just want to say real fast before we jump into the Coinbase IPO, if you are in the Philadelphia market, yo, what I would tell you to do, and again, not investment advice, it's just what I'm going to do is buy some land, buy whatever you can, because our market right now is severely undervalued in comparison to other markets surrounding it. And I got a project that it goes to market the 28th. I got one going for sale on the 28th and another project starting, but I'm out here looking right now. And I know because I said that Jabbar is about to send me a text with 18 opportunities, because Jabbar is also the he's the wholesale king in the city. He about to hit me with all kinds of opportunities. But I just wanted to point that out real fast because I'm looking at more data. And one of the things I see when I'm looking at data, and I was looking at data from the Northeast in general, and because of interest rates being as low as they are, folks are buying, and the numbers are going crazy right now. I also go to settlement on another piece in January. We already got a settlement date, and the rate on this is 2%, 2.2% is the rate. That's damn near free money.
Yeah, that's gangster.
That's damn near free money, right? So when you talk about getting something at 2.2%, I just know that, they're not the old cliche, buy land and not make it anymore. But if you're specifically within this Philadelphia market, that I am, yo, guys, y'all listen. I'm just telling you, it's not going to always be this way, right? When you look at specific neighborhoods, because we hear a lot about, and again, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any business. I'm just putting this out there to our audience because I think it's important to point out, because we're going to have these conversations on social platforms all the time. And I'm going to come back and say, yo, remember December 18th? You know what I'm saying? Remember December 18th? Remember what I said? Yo, Jabbar's a hustler, yo. I got a text message with plot plans, lots. Yo, shout out to Jabbar, yo. He already on it, man. He already on it. Yo, and I hope you guys are hearing me, man. And I want to go a couple more comments before and we're gonna jump into the Coinbase IPO before we get out of here. But I want to put up some more of these comments, yo. Yeah, Don, we about to get into that. Appreciate you, Don. Lance also says she's an ETH lover too. Listen. Corey laid out the reason why, everything's a part of ETH. I got my funds ready for that IPO drop. Listen, when I talk about a hustler, man, he already texted me. He already texted me, like I said. So yeah, I listen. I'm gonna keep saying this because I want everybody to hear me. But yeah, I hope so, man. It says, can you inbox me Malik's contacts? I asked a question on live with him, but haven't heard from him. Malik, if you still out there, man, hit up Jose. Jose is in our private group, so hit up Jose. But Jose, if not, when I get off here, I'll make sure that I'll get you in touch with Malik. I daily search the MLS, the amount of pending sales. Wayne, you are not like, yo, I do the same thing. And then it's not just the pending sales, it's the prices. Listen, the property that I'm putting up for sale on the 28th, listen, I'll be transparent about it. It's about to hit the market anyway. It's on a 1900 block of Taylor Street, which is in 2-1. And what I was going to charge for it, and this is just finished the whole project, what I was going to charge for it, the price of the brick then went up since we started versus where it is now, just based upon pending sales. I'm looking around like, what's going on? The pending sales are crazy, but the prices are crazy. And okay, Jabbar got all the off-market deals. Okay, we'll be talking. Yeah, ETH was love at first sight. Let's talk about this Coinbase IPO. For those watching, man, what do y'all think about the Coinbase IPO? Is it something that you interested in, or you staying away from it? Like, are you going to be putting up some bread for it? Let us know in the comment section. But Corey, to your point now, back to you. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna grab a few shares, and then I'm gonna let them Jones run. And then as soon as the lockout period is over, I'm gonna sell most of them off. That's what I do with a lot of these IPOs, especially the ones that's hot. Now, that's only if it don't do So a lot of these IPOs is coming out at one price, and then like they'll IPO it in the morning, and then all of the people who get to it in the pre-market knock the price all the way up to something crazy, and then when they do that, then I just wait for the lockout period. I don't buy it right away. So like the IPOs last week, like with DoorDash and all of them, DoorDash IPO'd I think like $68, and then by the time it got to the market, it was 149. I'm not buying no damn 149. Not for no DoorDash, and not when it IPO'd at 68. No, that was Airbnb. Whichever one it was, it IPO'd at something stupid. Yeah, I'll catch a few shares after the lockout period when people start to sell off and make their money. But I'm not buying it.
Do
Like,
you think that long term is a great long term investment? Like
yeah,
when I
yeah,
look at the marketplace,
they
they're
got,
the dominant player.
yeah, they're the dominant player, and they got federal contracts. They're not going anywhere. Coinbase is going to be a great value. Like off those two things alone, I'm not even going to tell you nothing about the numbers and all that. They got name and brand recognition, and they linked into the feds. They're
Yeah,
not.
we joke that Coinbase is the Feds. Like their connections to Goldman Sachs are like crazy. I mean, I think even Goldman Sachs is even running their IPO, if I'm not mistaken. But I think about it in terms of whether it's a great long term investment. And the one thing I get pissed at is one of the I do some private investing too, companies before they go public, and I was thinking about one of the opportunities a couple years ago was Robinhood. Like I could have invested in Robinhood, didn't do it, but they were in the news this past week as well. But I know that when they hit the market, it's going to be the same thing. What I've been thinking about is our IPOs change forever, right?
Yeah,
Because I remember years and aging myself again. Back in my day, but no, seriously though, stuff didn't go crazy like this, yo. What's happening now is like it's just insane. What I see, like, so I wonder, but I wonder, is that now the norm?
I remember our Visa and Alibaba. The other ones was regular. You know what I mean? Like they come out and then they slow grow. They blow over time. You know what I mean? Like even
Well, that's what I'm saying is the norm now have changed forever. Like what we're thinking about is that are those the days are past, and now because think about it, we have so many new people in the market, so much access, so many young people who don't care about metrics. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gamblers. They're gamblers.
yeah.
I've had someone tell me this is earlier in the quarantine that they got into the market because they couldn't get on DraftKings because Sportsbet wasn't able. So they took that same energy. Literally told me this. Took that same energy
Dumped
and
it
put it into the market. And then so you have a lot, and this is one of the reasons why Robinhood. One of the reasons why Robinhood is always in trouble is because there are a lot of people who think they're predatory in terms of who they market to. But
you don't have to think they are predatory. But
I'm not. Listen. It's not my opinion.
that is the opinion of Corey the Plug Kent. That is not investment advice. That is that's what the Fed told us this week and charged them $65 million because of it. I'm just going by what the Fed said.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so Robinhood charged Coinbase. But anyway, I wonder. I think Coinbase might be a good long term play, but I don't know how it's gonna. I'm gonna sit back and watch on the first day because again, I want to know if this is the norm. And that's another point I want to make real fast about investing. Right, you don't have to catch everything. So if you're out there and you're mad because you missed this and you missed that, there's always going to be opportunities. There's always going to be opportunity because a lot of times that FOMO is so real that you're like, yo, I'm dumping everything into this because I missed out on Airbnb or Zoom or whatever it may be. There's always going to be another one, yo. I just talked about Robinhood. When Robinhood goes public, regardless of everything we just talked about, they're going to go crazy.
Yeah, they are.
So there's always going to be another opportunity. But make sure that you learn how to study, how to do your due diligence, how to read 10Ks, how to look at income statements. Make sure you learn these tools because if you learn these tools, it doesn't matter who's going public this week, who's going public that week. You want to learn the skill set. So before we get out of here, let's get some more comments, man, and hear from the folks. Let's see, we are right here. So Mike said he's buying.
Hey,
he's buying. He probably gonna make a bag too.
No, yeah, you gonna run a bag. I think it's a good long term investment. I'm just not.
I got you. Nan said she gonna wait for it to drop and buy some shares, so maybe a good hold. I might see what it's hitting for. Try to buy a lot. Hopefully, evaluations are not worth value. See, Mike, that's the thing though. That's what I wonder. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't think you can get a undervalued IPO anymore.
Yeah, Latoya says the internet and accessibility. I agree with you. Like, I think things have changed forever. Like we'll see, but I think things will change forever. More people have access to the market, and this is the new norm.
Yeah, this
Yep.
is the
So
yeah.
everybody's agreeing with me.
Yeah, man, COVID changed a lot of things, and then the thing that it changed the most is how people get into the market and how much they get into the market because people saw that they needed another vehicle to get their money from because the world was shut down for a month. There's nothing else that shut the whole entire world down for 30 days. And so when you shut the entire world down for 30 days, but the only place where money was getting the money was in the market. And so people saw how the government protected the market at all costs. And so at this point, the government let the cat out the bag for the general populace. Because before investors knew that the government wasn't going to let the market fail, but now everybody know. You know what I mean? And so now that money going right into the market.
That's if they're
Everybody.
paying attention, because some folks probably still don't recognize that. But that's an amazing point. If you learn anything else from COVID, know that they will protect this system at all costs, right? Which is why a lot of people are like, okay, man, they just printing money. They're just printing money. Yo, your man Powell got on TV and just said on 60 Minutes, like, yeah, we gonna push the button. He said, so you just print money out of thin air. He was like, well, it's all digital, but that's what we doing. Like
He's like, yeah,
they're not even hiding it. It's not even hidden anymore. So this is what's amazing to me. So I hope folks are paying attention. And again, this is how you see how things are connected. But I think things have changed. But the great part about that is fundamentals still work, and you still have people out here making money like on a slow basis. It's not always the tech companies, but you got the big boys, the Pepsis. You know what I'm saying? You got like I was looking at Hershey stock the other day. Like just companies that have been around forever that are still making money.
Eating chocolate because people gonna eat more chocolate when they're in it. Like people are emotional. Like everything. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into that. People are emotional as hell, and chocolate that's a great business for emotional people.
But yeah, no, my wife's a shareholder in Hershey, so she was showing me her returns, and I'm looking like, but it hit me like we get caught up a lot of times in FANG, right? FANG is always in the news. It's Facebook, it's Apple, it's Netflix, it's Google. But these boring companies, these Pfizer's, these Kimberly Clarks, they still go out and do what they gotta do, man. So I think
they running that bag, run it. They running them bags, boy.
Mm-hmm. Listen, my last financial service class, we discussed central banks and their power. It was astounding how much sway and pull they have.
You don't even know the half, Jose.
Jose, if you haven't, go read a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island. You'll never look at the world the same. It's about the founding of the central bank and how it still has an effect on life to this day. I'm not sure. Maybe you've already read it, but it's called The Creature from Jekyll Island. If you haven't read that book, read it, and you will never look at the world the same again.
Ever.
I'm not huge on a lot of these dramatic IPOs, but Coinbase definitely has long-term potential. I agree, Lance. I agree. I just don't want to pay too much for it.
The price is right. I'm going to grab.
I just don't want to pay too much for it because I already know what they're going to do. I already know what they're going to do. Listen, I was telling people on the group earlier, like, yo, Airbnb, short it real fast because guess what's about to happen?
25.
It's a free bag
in less than a week.
That's a free bag.
But they took a 25% dip in less than a week. But they ran the price up 70% because it like 150% because they were supposed to debut at like 60, 68 and they debuted at like 150. So they ran the bag up like 150%. And now it just dropped 25% like that. So basically you just burnt 25% of your money.
That's crazy.
Like I told people that John was trash last week if they was listening.
Now again, who knows how things will play out, like, with their long-term product. But I just knew that was a quick play. Like long-term, who knows? Maybe that's a great thing. That's why a lot of times you talk to investors, they talk about who's management because they can figure things out. But I want to say this real quick. Don says foreign companies get him the bag on a low. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good point, Don. Like, one of the things that I learned from my brother Antonio, he said when you really get to the next level of investing is when it's boring to you. When you become bored with it, that's when you know you're really good at it. Because what happens is you put your portfolio on autopilot. If you're trading, you know how to put options on autopilot, and it's just boring. You go about and live your life, and you don't have to like be in front of screens all day. So I'm looking forward to making my adventure in investing more boring. But go ahead, Corey. What you getting ready to say?
No, I was just saying, like with Airbnb though, their market share and their market cap is crazy. Like, so their market cap is bigger than the next 3 hotel chains combined. Like
That's insane. That's insane. So they're bigger than like the Hilton and like
Hilton, Marriott, and all, and I forget it's Hilton, Marriott, and one more. All three of them combined though, and Airbnb is bigger than all three of them.
that's
It's
insane.
with room.
That's insane. Like
Like so,
what are we doing here? Like what are we doing? Like come on. Anyway,
those just the facts, man. Those the numbers.
no, it is. But when you think about it, that just shows that we're like people talk about bubbles all the time as it relates to crypto. Like what about like a lot of these things, man, is pure speculation. It's not about results. It's not results driven. It's speculation.
They don't have any proprietary thing. They're a service company. They're literally they're like Uber. They don't have anything proprietary. Like nothing is proprietary. Everything it can be duplicated. If Amazon wanted to get in the game tomorrow, they could squash them.
You know what though? And that's it. Let's end on that point because what I want to say is, in a conversation in one of our chats, we were talking and they were saying that a lot of times people focus on marketing and not the product because what we recognize is branding is more powerful now than ever. So when you say Uber like doesn't have anything proprietary, what they have is the name Uber, to the point where people who like will take Lyft say, I just Ubered over here. It's a verb. Airbnb has that brand name. And it's a lot of value in that, whether we want to admit it or not. So it's just interesting to watch this whole market, how everything is changing, with the new traders in the market. But those brand names are powerful, man. Like when you become a verb, that means
you eating.
That means something because I mean, worst case, you become an acquisition target, but you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, but to see that you're bigger than the three biggest hotel chains is absolutely insane. Considering the time they put in, the results they put in, nothing is results based anymore. You know what I mean? So with that being said, folks, listen, I want to thank you guys. We had an amazing audience this evening. Everybody was like chiming in, giving us their opinion. You know, this was a great talk. We will be here next Friday. Please go check out the current episode of our podcast with Hood Estates. Is one of our best ones. Hood Estates are amazing. And it's not just because of their success. It's because of their transparency, the journey they went through. The story they told is literally a Netflix movie that they told throughout our podcast. What they went through was just out of control, but they're a couple and they're still together and they stand strong. So salute to them. That's like, big bro and big sis at this point. And that episode was amazing. Upcoming episode, Real Estate Bay, Gabs, like that is going to be fire too. She's already got our page. She already got our page going crazy. Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you how old. For the folks listening, this is how old and washed I am, right? So the other day, my phone is going off. They like, yo, Salty shared your post. And I'm like, well, who is Salty? Like, I have no idea who Salty is, right? So then I go to her page and she got like 9 million followers and she shared like about a hood post. And that's why my phone is going ballistic. And I'm like, well, I still don't know who Salty is. I mean, like, you know her song? No. So he showed me her song. I'm like, I thought that was the City Girls for one. But I'm like, I still don't know who Salty is. And this is also how I spend way too much time online. Somebody was like, that's the, if you icy, I'm a glacier boy. I was like, oh, the meme. I know her from the meme from Twitter. Like, I don't know who she is, but point being, that post is going nuts. So make sure, Mark, what's up, Mark? Mark checking in. Mark, man, I hope you're still sitting on that Stellar Lumens, man. That Stellar we talked about a little while ago, because Stellar is going crazy too. But anyway, so Gabs will be on this week. Thank you guys for all the support. The Intro to Precious Metals course is still going crazy. That's our best-selling course at this point. It's phenomenal. It's still $50. Use the coupon code Black Wealth. Listen, the $50 is worth it because even if that's not your thing, what it gets you is it gets you access at least for the next year into our private group for a whole year. And that's worth it by itself because the information that's shared in the private group is bags flying all over the places. Don is in there, Lance is in there, people you see chiming out there, Jose is in there, Malik is in there. And we're talking about investing in the 4 asset classes and giving out like plays. Corey shows his personal trades. I show my stuff. I show how I'm like getting crypto for doing nothing. But anyway, check out that course, BuyTheHoodUniversity.com, Intro to Precious Metals, and just use the coupon code Black Wealth and $50. But with that being said, folks, check in with us next Friday. Check out our podcast, man. We appreciate our support. Corey, you got anything you want to say before we got here, brother?
Man, it's been nothing but love, man. The way that people want to collaborate with us, man, like it's crazy. Like the way the love is different, man. Like when you could tell fake love from like I can anyway. I could feel fake love. Like I could feel that dumb energy, and I don't never feel that when we talking to our audience, man. It's real love out here, man. I almost broke out in the song. You know what I mean?
I thought you about to jump in and feel it in the air. But I thought you about. I thought I was about to start
Real
hearing.
love. I'm talking about a real
Oh,
love.
no, I thought you was going to the beans, like you feel it in the air, like when you say people's energy and actually smile. But no, yeah, the love is real, man. So salute to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Make sure you share this out.
Nah,
Follow us on socials, and we go from there, man. But we appreciate y'all as always, man. It's not about how much money you make; it's about how much you keep. And we'll see y'all next week. Peace.